Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your August 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Gemini, August 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Gemini, August 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Gemini, August 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Gemini, August 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Fantastic. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, the Sun, and Judgment. That's intensely beautiful. So everything is not always going to be as it seems, and we're going to be rather melodramatic during this time, Gemini, so just be aware of that. We have the Empress, oh goodness, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Move this over just a little bit. In our heart, we have Standing Stones, which is Justice. There we go. You have the Emperor and the Empress right here, so that's beautiful. Absolutely a powerful time. So we have the Emperor right here, which is also Aries energy, and then we have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. We have the Four of Swords. In the public arena, we need a rest. We're going to want to be really hard on ourselves to the point where we kind of suck away all the joy. And here's the thing, it's like a secret that life has. It's supposed to be a little bit joyful. It's supposed to have joy to it. And this is going to be a time where we really just won't see the rainbow. There's a beautiful rainbow in the background right here, which I actually just noticed. And we're not going to see it. We're going to be so busy pushing and you know, just to the point of exhaustion. It's going to be and that we're not going to let ourselves rest. And it's going to be so important to let ourselves rest. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, because we have to eliminate that poverty mentality from the public arena. And we have to look at things when it comes to money and wealth and prosperity and success and purge away everything that is holding us back, everything that is keeping us small. And this is a time where it's really time to be larger than life. So let's look at our chakra energy for this time. Gemini, August 1st to 15th, 2021, Gemini, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have self-mastery, which is the solar plexus chakra. And this is a time where if we embrace kind of our gut feels on things, if we let ourselves align with who we are and who we want to be and how we want to move forward, we're going to start to see that we fall into alignment more powerfully, more openly, more honestly than we could have imagined. And it leads us to the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Gemini needs to be mindful of? August 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And it's the Queen of Cups and the Chariot. So the Queen of Cups represents water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, but the Chariot also represents Cancer. So we might have to really be mindful of Cancers during this time, but we also have to really be mindful of people who are charging forward, emotionally being led, and not logically looking at things. This is going to be a time where we're really letting the mysteries, we're really letting the unknown kind of get to us. And people who are going to be kind of harping on that energy of mystery or doubt or fear or chaos or fear-mongering, this is going to be a time where we can really find ourselves drawn in, and we have to step back. We have to step back and not let us be pulled forward by somebody else's emotional drama. It's going to be really easy to be just like pushed into other people's emotional drama during this time, and we need to step back from it. We really, really do. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a challenge that is super important, because we start off here with the devil, and the devil is what we're tied to. It's addictions and doubts and fears and chaos and other people's expectations and our own expectations, because this is what we're supposed to be and not who we truly are. So the devil is saying it's time to cut the chains. It's time to cut the marionette strings and be Pinocchio, be able to develop and become as we truly want to be. And I've just recently rewatched Pinocchio, and it's beautifully done. And it's starting to see that if we let ourselves be free, we can let ourselves embrace a beautifully done masterpiece of life and existence and soul and self and desires. And there's going to be something about time here. The ticking of the clocks come forward, and there's a sense of, I feel like I'm running out of time. Like everything that I want, and I've pushed things off too far or too long, and Spirit is saying stop. Everybody comes into their power in their own time. Everybody embraces their beauty and their prosperity in their own time. And so do so openly and honestly for yourself. The devil is going to be pulling us in. The devil is the opposing energy to Gemini. I mean, it is the card that in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is very much has the same depictions on it. Instead of the angel blessing with the lovers, it's the devil chaining with the devil card. So this is going to be a time where we can almost feel like the worst of our energy is coming forward, our doubts and our fears and our negativity, and we can go down that spiral hole really, really quick. But the sun is right there. The sun is right there, and it's saying, be uniquely and powerfully and individually you. Do what makes you feel right within your world. Do what makes you feel passionate and beautiful and maybe a bit eccentric, but definitely bring the erotic forward. And it's not just the sexual erotic. It is the erotic of existence and life and the beauty and the mystery and the moments when we're actually in our element, instead of just drudging through the day, trying to make it. This is a time to let ourselves express, to let ourselves become beautifully and powerfully, to let the light shine through. And people are going to take us by eyes. People are going to say, oh, no, you can't. And, this is the way you're supposed to be, not like that. And you know what? We just have to say, screw it. Everybody has their opinions, and that's great. But I get to be me, and I get to shine forward. Absolutely, unabashedly. And this is a time where we have to do that, Gemini. And it brings us to judgment. It brings us to Anubis. And Anubis is the god of the death, of death and the dead in ancient Egypt. And so here we have the scales, we have the heart, and we have the feather. Well, that is how Anubis judged past souls. If your heart weighed less than the feather, you were allowed into paradise. And it seems incongruous, because a heart in and of itself weighs more than a feather. But if your conscience, if your energy was lighter than a feather, if you did your best within this life and did not have regrets, or at least very few, then you were permitted forward. Then you were raised up. This is a time to say, the past is the past. I move forward in the moment of the present. I move forward in the essence that is me. I move forward with love and honor, respect and dignity. And I weigh my heart every day when I go to sleep. And I see what I need to release and what I need to build up and how I need to move myself forward. And where I'm letting myself get sabotaged and stuck. And it brings us to the Nine of Swords. It's that sabotage, stuck, not sleeping, not taking care of ourselves, which is going to come through in the public arena if we don't stop it. If we're not open and honest, saying, okay, there are worries and there are doubts and there are fears. You can't plan for everything. You just can't. It's not going to happen. The Nine of Swords is saying, step back. Step back and release. We can worry our whole lives, and people spend their whole lives in the Nine of Swords. Worries, doubts, fears, chaos, heartbreak, pain, disappointment, never ending. And it's time to say enough is enough. I am setting myself free. I am untangling the strings. I am untangling the mess. And I am embracing who I was meant to be and why I'm meant to stand here. It's not for anybody else. It is simply for myself. And the power, the intention, the beauty starts to come forward. The Nine of Swords is actually a ladder out of doubt, out of fear. Is it painful? Absolutely. Facing what is making us stuck is never a joyous moment. But releasing what is making us stuck makes us feel like we are birds soaring through the sky. And it brings us to the Seven of Pentacles. Be patient. Yeah, 7. Be patient with everything that's developing. We're going to want everything yesterday. And if we didn't get it yesterday, obviously we failed. Again, this is a very melodramatic time for Gemini. And Gemini, we have a tendency to be a bit melodramatic. So step back. Step back and be patient. Be patient with how you're developing. Be patient with where you stand right now. Stop with the worry and the doubt and the fear. Because life is going to take hold. Ready or not, here it comes. And it's going to be changing things. It's going to be pushing you forward. It's going to be rearranging the existence. And you're not going to be able to stop it. Now, because it is the minor arcana, this isn't the Tower, it is the 8 of Wands. You can ignore it. You won't feel right. You will feel as if you're missing out on something. You will feel as if there is a purpose that you're just not seeing. This is a time to step back, to let the change come forward, and to say, all right, I see. I see that I need to move this way for Spirit's intention, for my intention, for power, for integrity, and for determination forward. And it brings us then to the Empress. It brings us to claiming a throne we never thought we wanted or needed. It brings us to a power we thought was lost. The story of Rhiannon always hits me. And that's who this card represents in the Llewellyn Tarot. Rhiannon was a fairy princess, quite literally. She fell in love with this Welsh king. And she let him catch up to her. She let him marry her. But his people never really accepted her. She was an other, an outsider. And that was never forgiven. And so when she finally had a child, and it took them a while, and in mythologies and in fairy tales that makes sense, because fays have a harder time conceiving. She gave birth to a son, but the son was stolen away because she's the goddess of horses. And when he was stolen away, the nursemaids that were watching after her feared for their lives because they would all be killed. And so they made her into a monster. They said she ate her child because she was an other and an unknown. And no good could come from that. This is going to be a time where we could feel cast out by the world for being an other and unknown, not really fitting in. But our hearts have led us on a path that says, but this is where I'm supposed to be. And so she served a penance, having to sit in front of the castle, telling them her story, her great shame, and giving people rides upon her back to the castle, like a horse, until her son was found, her name restored, and our throne regained. She never walked away, though. She never said, I don't need this. I have my own people and my own world, and I'm going back to it. She understood the pain that she was in. And she understood that it was coming to an end. And that's going to be important for us. Not to run away. Maybe to change tactics times, not the same old thing every time. Embracing change is going to be important. But it brings us to a place where there is more here than we imagined. And the riches that are found, the prosperity that comes, is going to be greater than before. And this is not giving up. This is not letting others win. This isn't saying I'm going to conquer just to show you. This is saying, but this is my soul. This is myself. This is what is right. And this is where I need to stand. And there's an honor in that. There's a beauty in that. There's a determination in that. And we have to embrace it. It's going to be a have to during this time. And it leads us then to justice. Justice isn't about the white page, the black print, the letter of the law. Justice is about the balance of the energy that is inside of us, the balance of the passion that we move forward in, the balance of our truth and our determination. We want that. This is a time for discernment. This is saying, I can't be everyone or do everything. And so I balance me. I can't let everyone in. I can't let all the energy pull me down. So I balance me. It brings us then to the emperor, with the empress being the person who claims the throne that was stolen away, that was lost, that she might not even have known she wanted. The emperor knows. The emperor says, this is mine. Unapologetically and determinedly, he claims it. And this is going to be a time where, even though the connection isn't going to be as great, because they're not the same cards from the same deck, the connection of the emperor and the empress is powerful. There is a powerful pull to claim our throne, to know our truth and our desires, to say, I am worth it, and nobody is going to take that away from me. That becomes everything during this time. And there's a fierceness to us. There's a fierceness to our hearts. There's a fierceness to our emotional stance. There's a fierceness to our movements and to our desires that isn't about what other people think. It's about what we desire and what we need, about who we are. And it brings us then to the death card, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the fact that everything that matters is in the shadows. It isn't as clearly seen as that which blazes under the sun. And it's going to be that everything that matters for us, everything that defines us, everything that leads us forward, is in the shadows, is more complex than we had realized. And this is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. The power that comes when we release the naivety, when we embrace the transformation, because divinity is transforming us. It's saying, this is where you started, but this is where you need to be. This is the wisdom that you walk with now. And wisdom comes not because it just magically appears one day. Wisdom comes because we've learned, because we've lived, because life has gotten hard and complicated, and we traverse those planes. It brings us then to the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, I love this depiction because they're wind chimes now, not weapons. They get to warn us of things. They get to carry messages on the wind. They get to guide us forward. This is a time where we are guided forward. Through rest, through peace, through meditation, through relaxation, through sleep, through self-care. This is a time when beauty is important, but also we ourselves are important. It leads us then to the Five of Pentacles, the poverty mentality. It's not seeing that rainbow, that subtle, beautiful rainbow that's hidden in the clouds. It's thinking, this is my hardship, this is my lot in life, this is my suffering, and it will never end. And I will fall apart. Slowly and steadily, never realizing the dream, always being the outsider. And we might always be an outsider. We might always feel just a little bit different than the masses, and that's okay. But the poverty, the doubt, the discrimination of self, That is not. What it is time is to call forward the wealth. To say, I am worthy of being prosperous, of being bountiful, of being amazing. I am worthy of it. I am guided with it. And I'm done. I am throwing off a leaden cloak of doubt and despair, poverty and hurt. And I might have lived through that. And I might understand it quite well. But I am not defined by it anymore. And it brings us now to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that is the Hermit. The Hermit is turning too deeply inward. We're going to have a flair for the dramatic anyway during this time. If we get too much into our own heads, things can get kind of bad. We're also going to have to be very mindful of being really drawn to people who are morose and moody and broody during this time. Like, not in the English sense of the word broody, but broody in the American sense, where you're just brooding and sorrowful and everything is despairing. This is a time that we have to be mindful of that. And we have to be mindful of the light that guides us forward. The dreams that we have and the passions that we desire. And not to put down that lantern, not to let that flame go out. Our subconscious chakra energy is the crown chakra. Peace. This is a time where we want to be crowned in peace. And we're going to have to embrace peace. Because peace wants to embrace us, but because we have this tumult of emotions, it's going to be a bit difficult. And peace is going to be like, what the heck? Just be calm, let me in. And that's going to be something, again, that's a bit of a challenge to do. So being able to embrace peace, being able to embrace our own internal grace, that is going to be astoundingly powerful. Our subconscious rooted energy is the star. This is Aquarius energy. This is dreams and wishes, hopes and desires. This is the deep wish of the soul, not the cross the fingers type of thing. And so here, we need to look at the balance of our emotional self and our earthly self. The balance of our passion and our desire. And what divinity sees within us that needs to come forward. And this is going to be a time where that need needs to be embraced, not fallen to the wayside. It brings us then to our subconscious inner self. We have the Six of Cups. We're going to be rather nostalgic. And it could be wonderful. It could be a beautiful nostalgia. But it's going to be corruptive because it's either going to bring us to a time that we can never replicate, that is gone, or it's going to bring us to our past fears, our past doubts, our past hurts, our past pains. And that's just going to mess with our heads. So be mindful of this. Be mindful of the way the past creeps up onto your present, Gemini. It brings us then to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Ace of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. Prosperity, success, wisdom, and beauty. The seeds being nurtured. Life being enjoyed. That is what we need. An enjoyment. A beauty of heart. A sense of, this is what I've worked towards. And this is what I've worked for. And this is what I embrace. It's not the size of our bank account. It's the quality of our life. It's the little things that are going to matter the most. Our subconscious public self. Eight of Wands. Everything is changing. And we're going to feel like we're not changing fast enough with it. But here's a secret, Gemini. You are. Embrace the way Spirit is guiding you forward. Embrace the changing of the heart, the insight of the soul. Embrace the energy that's moving you forward. And understand that what's coming is really quite extraordinary. Alright, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini.